This is gonna be a pickleball paddle for my homie. And he said he's gonna make me a rug in exchange, so it's gonna be dope. But yeah, this is just gonna be the thickness overall, and I'm gonna cut out a couple more strips to match with this one. And we're gonna take the offcuts and just glue them to the sides of this to make the full paddle. Here I just set up my fence to cut 7/8 of an inch off of both sides of the racket to make it 8 1/4 inches wide total. And here I'm just using a small block plane to flatten out where these boards weren't perfectly jointed together. Ripping down those first boards left me with these about 3/16 thick strips that I then just repurposed for the handle. Here I'm just cutting out a basic shape that I roughly sketched onto the surface of the paddle before I put on the handles and do the final cuts. Here I'm using the smallest roundover bit I have, a 1/8 inch bit, and I'm just doing both sides of the actual paddle here and not the handle because the handle is just going to be cut down a little bit smaller once I thicken it up with those strips that I had shown originally. Here I'm gluing 4 of the 3/16 inch strips onto the handle. That's gonna make it 1 1/8 inch thick total. This is a really simple but useful technique. Just using a piece of wood clamped down onto your piece to align it straight and just get a nice 90-degree cut or whatever angle you really want. And here I cut down the handle to 1 1/4 inches wide, and I add an extra curve coming down into the handle. I used a compass to make just like a quarter circle on each side, trying to be as even as possible. Then using a 1/2 inch roundover bit, I round over both sides of the paddle, both top and bottom. I forget the exact spacing, but I just added some simple speed holes into it here. I'll lift out a bunch of sanding I did and the 3 coats of polyurethane I put on at the end, but here's the finished paddle.